Yes, yes. Apologies, everyone. By the way, I was bantering there. It wasn't LB, it was me. It was me and my setup. He was actually here on time. But one of my mates decided to fuck about with my setup. So apologies. What are you saying, bro? You good?
Oh, good, man. Yeah, early this one for me.
I know. I was waiting for you last night to say, you know what, Dutch, you might need to move it back again.
No. I went bed well early last night. I was knackered, innit? So, yeah, I had to go pick my car up from the garage this morning. The car was in overnight. So, I went and picked that up this morning and obviously jumped on here. So, it's actually worked out all right, to be fair.
Do you know what? I've been up since 4:30.
Have you? Why?
So I've got to a point where I'm going to bed early every night, right? Since I've not been working, I'm going to bed mad early every night, just because it's good for me, good for my mental health and whatever. And I've got to a point where like I'm fully charged in it, so I only need like 6-7 hours sleep, and then I just wake up. And when I wake up, I kind of give myself 20 minutes to get back to sleep. If I can't get back to sleep, I'm just like, yeah, fuck this, I'm getting up. So I got up and watched I watched 2 episodes of The City is Ours, and then have you watched that yet?
Nah, but the first time I heard someone speak about that, I thought it was some sort of like City documentary.
So did I, bro. So did I.
I was like, oh, sick. We've got another City documentary to watch. It's like gangers and that, innit?
It's nothing to do with City at all. So watched that, then went for a 3-mile walk, and then got back. Chilling, man, chilling. But and the weather's banging down here. Is it good where you are?
Yeah, it's nice. It's blue skies, man. You know what I mean? Bit of fucking clouds. Have you seen the government try to block the sun?
What?
Have you seen this?
What?
The government are trying to block the sun.
What, clouds?
Fuck knows what they're trying to do, man. Trying to block the sun, man. They're jokers, man. Yeah, man. That's what they're doing.
Bro, yeah, I swear you are a defined sarcasm, yeah? And I just fall for it every single time.
Nah, bro, I've seen it on the news yesterday, man. They're trying to block the sun.
But what, you actually being serious?
I've been deadly serious, bro. They're trying to block the sun, man.
How are they trying to block the fucking... How are they
I
going
don't
to
know,
block...
man. I didn't read the actual article in it, but that's what they're saying they're trying to do. Block the sun. I'm thinking, what the
thing is, so in the UAE, in Dubai and Abu Dhabi and that, they sprinkle the clouds, yeah? Cost millions. They sprinkle the clouds with summit, which means that that makes it rain, so they get a bit more rain, right? But they can afford to do that. What's our government? Our government's got no fucking money. What are they going to do to try and block the sun? Like literally, fucking put a piece of paper up.
They can find money for stuff like that, can't they? But they can't find money for the pensioners.
Why would they do what? Just to depress us? Just to make us that little bit more depressed?
Fucking don't know, mate. I don't know. It's all a scam. It's all a scam, in my opinion.
Yeah, weather's mint. No, weather's mint. Do you know what? This is FA Cup weather.
It's nice, isn't it? It's nice, man. It's yeah. I'm feeling good, man. You know what I mean? There was something in the air before the Villa game, and I was feeling good going into that game, man. Like in terms of like the feeling, the vibe. I predicted we'd get beat, but the actual feeling.
Yeah. You were in a good mood despite the fact that you thought.
Yeah. Like I predicted a loss, but I was in a good mood, man. Like there was something in the air, and then like obviously the winner went in, and it was just like fucking sick. And I think we're gonna beat them on Sunday.
Yeah.
Get to the final. I think top 5's pretty much done now for me. So yeah, man. Like I've been vaccinated, innit? You know what I mean? LB got his vaccine. Yeah, I got vaccinated, man. But yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Oh, do they still do vaccines?
Nah. So basically, yeah, when we was going through the rough patch, we were saying that like people who was really positive had been like Man City vaccinated. So
through the rough patch?
Yeah, so like the more happy you were, the more vaccines you had. So we was all like anti-vaxxers at the time, and but now I'm happy. People are saying I've been vaccinated. So yeah, LB's been vaccinated, isn't it?
Just hold tight, Riku. Saying, have either of you watched the show, The Last Dance? Nah, I remember the film when I was a little kid. But I ain't watched it. Is it good? Check it out. I need something. I've just finished Vikings of Valhalla, so I need something new to watch. But yeah, bro, you know what? I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't so positive going into the. I was worried as hell. I was nervous. Yeah, going into the Villa game. But we need to speak on it. What's your views on the Villa game ultimately, LB?
Well, first of all, I was very surprised at how Villa set up because I thought like they needed to win the game. So for them to be like so defensive and that was a bit weird. But I thought it was good, mate. I think you've got to give credit to Pep Guardiola, to be honest with you. I think in the last couple of matches, I think he's got his tactics bang on. Now, yes, it's not pretty to watch, but we're getting results. We're controlling football matches. We're not open through the middle. If you go back to when we won one game in 14, how many times did the opposition just go straight for our midfield? It was almost as if like we was literally playing with no midfielders on the pitch. But these last couple of games, we've controlled football matches. You know, you look back at the Everton game, they had 2 chances the whole game, both set pieces. Villa, very few chances. You had Rashford in the first 20 seconds. And then the penalty. Other than that, I think Ortega didn't make another save. We controlled the game. They very rarely went through our middle. They had some good players on the pitch. They had Ramsey. They had Rodgers, players that can carry the ball. And that was without Nico Gonzalez. Now, I still think that Nico Gonzalez should be playing. Even though we win, just because we win doesn't mean I can't say that I think he got it all right. Like, I still think Nico Gonzalez should be in this team. Because I think
I'm the same. It's kind of one of them ones where when the lineup comes out on Sunday, if I see that same aged midfield, I'm still gonna be irritated, right?
Yeah.
But I do hear what you're saying, and Sheikh was on yesterday, and he was saying the same thing. Look, we have to look at what Pep is doing, and it seems like he's found a way to kind of use Nunes and use O'Reilly. And then basically use the experience of our midfield. And do you know what? I saw a bit of a dogged performance from De Bruyne in that game as well. De Bruyne, like, it wasn't going forward. It wasn't no creative masterclass from De Bruyne or nothing. But De Bruyne was getting stuck in a bit more than I've seen him getting stuck in recently, which could be that he's getting more comfortable again.
I think for me with Kevin De Bruyne, I think you've seen in the last couple of weeks that his physical condition seems to have massively improved. And that coincides with him coming out in the press saying that he's no longer feeling any injuries or any pain. So, that's obviously a good thing because, you know, the FA Cup game on Sunday, he will play in that game because Foden's out of favour at the moment. I don't think he started any of the last 4 games. I think I seen a stat yesterday on Twitter. Might be wrong.
Do you know what? I did a show with, it was after my last show with you. I did a show with Martin and Tone, right? And they were both saying that fucking Foden should start against Villa. And I was like, and they were saying to me that Foden, like, I get what they were saying, that whatever's going on with Foden, it's not going to change next season. But I was kind of more like, but we're not, at the start of next season, we're not going to be fighting, like,
how do they know? How do you know it's not going to be changed next season? How do you know that? How do you know that if he has like a couple of weeks off in the summer, has a little bit of downtime, he's obviously not playing too much at the moment, so he's getting a lot of rest and recovery. How do you know that he's not going to be better next year? How do you know that?
Well, I think Martin was saying something to do with he's got an illness or something, an ongoing illness that's not going to. But yeah, for me, I'm going to stand by it, right? I'm not saying I don't want to see Foden off the bench this season, right? I'm not mad if we see Foden off the bench. I don't want Foden starting no games this season. I really don't, and I don't think it's good for him starting games because I think if he starts a game and has a shit game, he gets subbed off, right? Stinker and hooked, right? If he comes on, at least he's ending the game with the rest of the team, and it's not going to knock his confidence as much because it is a confidence thing. There might be niggly issues there, but for me, there's 100% this is a confidence issue, and there might be other reasons, but for me, I think the only one I really want to see in that team still is Nico Gonzalez.
Yeah. I agree. I think as well, you know, Wembley's a big pitch, man, and you know, I think playing the 3 older guys at that stadium, I'm not sure about that. I think I'd definitely play Nico Gonzalez in there. I don't know who I'd drop. Because Gundogan offers you a little bit more forward, but does he? Because Kovacic has been slamming the goals in recently. So,
Kovacic, do you know what? And as well, I'll be honest, someone probably for us to talk on is Bernardo Silva, right? Because Bernardo Silva has been playing, obviously, on the right-hand side, right? And on the right wing. We've all been frustrated with his backward passing, his sideways passing. We saw him against Villa playing in kind of like a, 6-8 role, I would say, probably, And he was advancing the ball. He looked a bit more like old Bernardo Silva. And it just makes you think, do you know what? He was doing the Grealish role, but on the right, wasn't he? That's what he's been doing all season. Playing on the right, doing what Pep says, pass sideways, pass backwards, don't lose the ball. You put him in that 8 role, and all of a sudden he was going back, collecting the ball off the defenders, driving with it, making forward passes. You're on mute, LB.
Yeah, he's one of the best players on the pitch, man. Like,
Yeah.
I still personally wouldn't keep him. I'd still probably move him on in the summer, yeah. But like, yeah, he played. That was probably his best game. So he had a good game. If you actually go back to the Forest game at home when we won 3-0, he actually played right wing that day as well, and he actually played really well that day. That's probably the best performance since then. So yeah, you got to give him credit because he played really well. I'd still move him on in the summer.
I think we spoke on this. Is what we get offered. If we get offered the right money,
I think you'll get 25, 30 mil for Bernardo Silva.
Yeah.
He's only 30, 31.
Yeah. It's not. I think it's if Benfica will play. The other alternative is if there's a player there that we want. But who else was there? I wanted to speak on McAtee. What do you think of McAtee?
I think he's a beast. I think he's gonna leave. He's gonna score 25. He's gonna get 25 GNA wherever he goes. He's a top player. I think that people are very much looking at his missed chances rather than looking at the fact that he keeps on getting opportunities when no one else in the team is getting those opportunities. If you go back to the game, was it Palace where he scored a goal? He's could have scored 5 goals that day. He could have scored 2 the other day. And I just think that, yes, he's missing a few chances. I think he's rusty. He's only played 800 minutes this season, the whole year. You know, he's not in like this free-flowing form because he's not playing. He's in and out the team. I think when he gets to a side and he's playing week in, week out at a top team, he's gonna do 25 GNA. Mark my words, he's gonna do 25 GNA.
I think if he goes to Leverkusen, I think he's gonna absolutely cook over there.
I think he's gonna cook, man. I think too many people are focusing on the fact that he's missing a few shots rather than going, we've had Doku and Savio all season, and none of them have ever had the amount of chances in a single game that this guy's getting. And so listen, he's going to go. I reckon he'll be used as a make weight for the Wirtz deal. But, listen, at the end of the day, he's a top player. He's obviously not had as much game time this season as I would have wanted, as he would have wanted. But he's going to be a top player and he'll smash it, man. 25 GNA is nailed on.
It's interesting as well because Pep's actually turned. Look, right now we know Pep is turning to the players that he knows he can rely on, right? And to be fair, we have to give him some credit on it because once again, business end of the season, and he's turning to the players that he thinks he can rely on, sticking with them. And however much it's not nice to watch, and this is something Sheikh said yesterday that it might not be nice to watch, but I think we would all agree right now, all we care about is getting Champions League football, then getting the players in, and then we see how we look next season, right? But it's interesting that McAtee is one of the players that he's turning to now. And I've seen people say the shop window, he's just putting him in the shop window, but Pep putting when there's a Champions League position, he ain't doing that.
He's not putting players in shop windows when like we're fighting to get in the top 5. So you know, now we're in a much better position. You know, like will we see Echeverri for 5-10 minutes in the next 4 games? Maybe. But he's not putting. He's playing him because he wants to play him. He's playing him because he feels like he's the best player in that position. So big up to McAtee, man. It's been a tough year for him because he definitely should have played a lot more than he has. You could think back to earlier in the season when Foden and De Bruyne were both injured for about a 4 or 5 week period. McAtee should have been playing, in my opinion. He's a great player, and he didn't.
It makes you wonder if it's to do with him being around. That Pep really does feel that players need to kind of get used to how he wants to play. And that's why it's taken most of the season for him to... Because, bro, what you said there's spot on, right? McAtee gets in positions, right? That's why he's getting these chances, because he is getting in positions that only Doku and you said Foden as well. Foden is out of form, right? Doku doesn't get in those positions. Savio doesn't get in those positions. And Haaland's injured. So it's almost like he's gone, you know what? We know that Marmush is not an out-and-out 9. Who else can get in that position? And it brings the right balance. It does, because it allows Marmush to go out to the left, McAtee to drift in if need be. And it's working. It's working. I don't know, man. I
think Marmush is a top player, by the way. You want to speak about Marmush?
Oh, bro.
I think he's a top player.
Bro, do you know what? You see when we got out, by the way, I'm not saying Marmush is better than Alvarez, right? But you see, when we got rid of Jesus and we brought in Alvarez, and people said we've upgraded Jesus. Yeah. For me, Alvarez and Jesus, different types of players. For me, Marmush is a clear upgrade on Jesus. Yeah, because his runs are fucking mint. Yeah, he's all over the gaff, but he's just so much more clinical as well.
Yeah. No, I think Marmush is a top player, man. I think he probably suits the role that Alvarez did last year, but better, because Alvarez for me is more of a forward. He's more of an attacker in terms of like a striker, maybe centre forward style. Whereas I think Marmush is more of a second striker. Well, that's what we're looking for, because right now, we don't have a striker because Haaland's injured. But when Haaland's fit, nobody else is going to play as a striker because Haaland's the striker. So I think Marmush will do the Alvarez role from last year, but do it a little bit better. And Alvarez obviously did very well last year, despite getting criticised a lot. You know, he did put the ball in the back of the net.
Put numbers in, especially at the start of the season. Bro, do you know what? That's what we've been blessed with over the years. If you think about it, we've been blessed with a good few understudies. Yeah, whether it be Alvarez, whether it be Marmush now, whether it be Zeko back in the day. We always get these good players. And bro, the one thing I would say is with Alvarez, probably the reason he left, is because Alvarez probably couldn't quite play he could play the role next to Haaland, but he didn't want to play the role next to Haaland, right? But for Marmush to join after Alvarez is leaving, I think Marmush must be happy with playing that role more. Whereas Alvarez wanted to be the 9, right?
Yeah.
Whereas Marmush,
which he was never going to be. He was never going to be.
Yeah, which he was never going to be. It's like Zeko. Unfortunately, when Aguero's there, you're not going to be the 9. Whereas with Marmush, it's like Marmush is happy to not be second fiddle. He don't want to be the 9. He's happy being the 10, pretty much, or whether it be 10 or a winger, just the second striker ultimately. So,
no, I agree.
Get him on the corners, though, LB. We need to get him on the corners.
For fuck's sake, man. Listen, I think Kevin De Bruyne is the best player that's ever played for this football club. Yeah, I think he's better than David Silva. Obviously, I've never seen Bell, right? But, oh my God, I can't stand his corners, man. And Marmush's corners are actually decent. He whips them in with pace. So why he's not on the corners, I have no idea.
Oh, and the other thing I noticed the other day, right, because there was one point, second half, the beginning of the second half, I swear we had something like 8 corners to their 1, right? And this is the thing that I defend Arsenal, right? When people say that Arsenal set piece FC and all that they play for set pieces, I go, nah, no team plays for set pieces. They would rather score in open play, but teams are defending, kicking the ball out, and then they're making the most of the set pieces. Which we used to do. Whereas at the moment,
which you're supposed to do, yeah.
Whereas we're getting shitloads of corners and then doing fuck all with them. It's like, well, what's the point in getting a corner? Like, every time we get a corner, I'm going, well, this is bullshit. But I did notice Marmush is not even in the box for corners. He's floating around on the edge of the box.
Yeah, he's doing the Mahrez thing, isn't it? Where Mahrez used to do that a lot and be on the edge of the box. But I think Mahrez was a clean striker of the ball than Marmush.
Yeah.
From the bit I've seen him.
I'll put him up there for you on your side.
Oh shit! Come on!
I've been there for you, bro.
The goat, there he is. Look at him kissing the Champions League. Big up Mahrez, man.
We need something to do with Mahrez on this. I was going to nearly change the name of the show to Mahrez is the GOAT. Just have the show every week called Mahrez is the GOAT with LB.
He played in a match the other week. He got 5 goal involvements in a single game, Mahrez.
Yeah, mint. Bro, I'm still saying, give him. I know he's. You know what? We can't even offer him money. He's got more than enough money, but I wouldn't be surprised if in the summer. Bro, we need to get him back, or either link up with him over in America. Get him round Doku and just get him round Doku. And do you know what? Even more, get him round Savio and get him to teach Savio how to bend the fucking ball, please. But now Marmush, bro, mint. I think he might score at the weekend as well. I know Wolfie loves Marmush but hates that we got him. So I would love a Marmush brace against Forest.
Apparently they could have got him for like 30 million or something in the summer.
Yeah, wow. One of them ones based. Bro, it's probably the same as when Arsenal was saying that they could have got Yaya Toure and all that crap.
Oh, Messi and that. Yeah.
All them players that could have gone. So you're not worried going, you think we're going to beat... Do you know what's interesting? Someone said the other day, I didn't think about it. Villa against us, right? They
Mm.
kind of tried to play a little bit like Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, weird. I didn't understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really get it. I don't understand like what they were doing. They needed to win the game, and they sort of sat there and just defended and tried to hit us on the break. And I thought, listen, we've obviously been a little bit better recently. Of course we have, but we're still like, we're not a great team, are we? Right now, we're just an okay team. We're a decent team, but we're not amazing. So for them to come to the Etihad and play the way they did, I was very surprised. I thought he played into our hands, actually. You know what I mean? Like, teams need to realize now when they're playing City that we're not the same City of 4 months ago where you just sit there, wait for us to lose the ball, and then just go straight through the middle of us, because that's what teams used to do. We've somehow figured out a system in which to prevent that happening. So that's not the, you know, so I was very surprised they did that, to be honest with you. And obviously, the win for us, for me, now pretty much secures top 5. You know, you win your next 2 games against Wolves and Southampton, that's 67 points. That's enough.
Yeah, I think that would be, well, for me, getting we have to get the win against Southampton and Wolves. Then I start feeling a lot more. Hold on, how many games we've got? Southampton, Wolves, Bournemouth, Fulham.
Yeah.
So, bro, if we can get it wrapped up before Bournemouth at home, that would be mint. That would be absolutely mint.
Yeah, win your next 2 games, you're on 67 points. That's done. That.
You reckon?
Yeah. Yeah, because you've got to look at the fixtures that the other teams are playing. They're all playing each other. Newcastle still got to play Chelsea. Forest have still got to play Chelsea.
Who's got to play Chelsea?
Forest have got to play Chelsea.
Well, Forest run's kind of easy. You know, Forest's run's pretty damn easy as well.
Yeah, but the part I'm saying is, like, Forest play Chelsea on the last day of the season, so someone's dropping points. And Chelsea play Newcastle, so someone's dropping points. Newcastle play Liverpool or Arsenal. So, you know, teams are definitely going to drop points around us. So if we just win our next 2 games, we're chilling.
Yeah. Do you know, just quickly, people, there's 260 of you in here. Likes are only at 127. That is shit. That is minging. I don't want to keep asking, so please, just smash the like button. If you're watching it on playback as well, please smash the like button as well. It really helps the channel. We're trying to get out to new City content creator, viewers, and that's what the like button does. LB, I just want to ask you one last thing on the Villa game, because it scared the shit out of me, right? When in the second half we started looking a little bit tired, and the Villa started doing what we knew they were going to do, bringing on loads of subs, right?
Yep.
And Pep just was like not phased. He brought on off McAtee, one of the youngers, right, and put on Doku. Were you worried at that point, or were you calm?
I can't remember what I felt like. I can't
lie. I was thinking, here we go, and I'm waiting. Pep, what are you gonna do? And I'm thinking, you're gonna bring on Gonzalez? Nothing. You just left the elders out there.
Yeah.
I guess no one was getting us over the line, innit?
Yeah. Listen, it is what it is, man. Like Pep, I think Pep in these last couple of games has got it spot on, man. Like I say, I think there's a lot of times this year when I think Pep's been doing stuff which is mad questionable, and we've all sat there and gone, "What's he doing?" Like, do you know what I'm saying? But I think these last couple of games, it might not be pretty, but I think the way he's set the team up tactically I think it's been spot on. I think the Everton game, he clearly didn't want to make the game like he wanted to kill the game off, be a dull game and nick it. That's exactly what we did. People don't give him enough credit, because then people will go, well, no. It was a shit performance. They just bailed him out at the end. Yeah. No, I think that was the tactic. I think the plan was just to stay in the game, keep it nice and dull, and trust that over the 90 minutes someone will do the job and get the goal. And that's what happened. And then I think the same with Villa. So yeah, big up Pep, man. I think he's got it spot on. I just think the only thing I'd say is get freaking Nico Gonzalez in the team, man.
Yeah,
because he's better than Gundogan. He's better than Kovacic. So there's no reason for me that Nico Gonzalez should not be in that side.
He might even get something on the corner. He's pretty tall as well, isn't he? So
exactly, a bit tall lad. He can drive the ball. He can shoot. We've seen that shot that he had where he hit the post in the first couple of games. He's good at tackling. He's a good player, man. I like him. I don't know. People keep saying and talking about Gonzalez, but I don't know whether Gonzalez is going to be good enough to be starting week in, week out, right? Going forward, I'm talking like next year when we get all the new players in. But he's definitely going to be a player that, like, not a Phillips and not a Nunes in midfield. Like, this is definitely a player that is able to play in our midfield 100%. He's a good 100%. Player. Whether he can become a world-class player, time will tell, but he's definitely a good player.
Well, you know what? For someone to come in and hit the ground running like he has, and by the way, I'm not saying he's coming in set the world alight, yeah, but to come in and in a out of form, lacking confidence Manchester City team do the job he's done so far, yeah, it tells me he's good enough to play for Manchester City. 100% he is. Appreciate the super chat, Mike, a lot. There was something else I was going to say. Well, what do you? Yeah, there was a question I was going to. Someone sent a comment in. Yeah, this question, guys. Does Pep switch permanently to wing backs next season or go back to inverted fullbacks? I do hear what you're saying here because there was at times it definitely was like Nico O'Reilly and Nunes were playing as wing backs.
Yeah,
against Villa.
Well, the problem that you've got is the wingers that we currently have at the football club, whether you like it or not, they're not world-class wingers. Yeah, Doku is not a world-class winger. He did very well coming off the bench, and nor Savio. Right? That's just the truth at the here and now. Yeah, they're good players. Could they be world-class in a few years? Yeah, but right now they're not world-class. So, do you start with a system where you're playing with wingers that are not world-class? Do you buy wingers that are world-class in the summer? Which I would like us to buy a winger, but you've got all the other jobs to do. Or, as the question suggests, do you buy a couple of wing backs, which we're in need of anyway, and play with wing backs? So I think you might see a system where, we do play with wing backs next year, and you sort of play with your Wirtzes in the middle and your Foden in the middle and the Marmush in the middle, and you have sort of 3 attacking players there in the middle behind Haaland in Marmush, Foden and Wirtz, Haaland up top, and then you push your wing backs forward, and then you just have your midfielders behind. Because that's just the truth. As much as if you like Doku and you like Savio, and I like Savio more than Doku, but I don't mind them both. And Bob's obviously a good player. They're not world class players, are they? I mean, they're just not. So what do you do? Do you full send a team with 2 wingers and decide that are not world class, or do you change the system? So I think maybe you'll go to wing backs, have Savio and Doku on the bench. Obviously, that doesn't mean they'll never start. They will start games, but the core sort of setup, maybe. But then it depends on what wing backs you buy, because then you've got to get attacking wing backs. You've got to get wing backs that can get down the line, that can get crosses into the box. Yeah, they've got to be able to cross. So is that the likes of Frimpong? Well,
it's that, and this is where at the start of the season when we were being linked with Frimpong, I kept saying to everyone, "Now he's a wing back. He's a wing back, right? He is a wing back, 100% a wing back." But now the way we are playing, and even more so, it was kind of like it was Vardio and Diaz at the back, but then Bernardo and Kovacic were kind of like almost. I'm not going to say they were becoming part of a back 3, but they were certainly instead of the centre backs advancing with the ball so much, it's more a case of Kovacic and Bernardo coming and picking up the ball and advancing the ball. And it seemed to work for us because it makes us not look as vulnerable, right? Because we're not having our centre-backs pushing as far forward. And I do think at one point this season, when we had all of our centre-backs injured, Diaz was sometimes being asked to advance the ball a bit too much. And I think that's made Diaz look worse because that's not Diaz's job. Diaz should never be advancing the ball. And also, I do think playing Nunes at right back, if he's playing as a wing back, all of a sudden, Nunes is getting a lot closer to what he actually is, right?
Yeah.
And you're seeing the best out of him. You're seeing him be able to drive forward. And you know what, bro? That far post, Doku, shout out to Doku putting a Kevin De Bruyne-esque cross. I don't know if I've ever seen... Bro, I don't know if I've ever seen him put one across like that before, right? But Nunes making that far post run as well, which I think the only other player that could have made that run, apart from Nico O'Reilly on the left, would probably have been McAtee, and he was off the pitch.
Yeah, probably right. Yeah, no, they both deserve massive credit. I mean, I've given massive credit on my channel over the last couple of days. I think, the word responsibility is a word that has been used quite a lot in the last couple of weeks for me personally, and throughout the season. I feel like there was times this year when I feel like players were looking at other players to do something rather than take responsibility for themselves. And in the last couple of weeks, you've seen clear examples of players take responsibility and do stuff themselves. O'Reilly, Nunes in the last 2 games has been fantastic in that regard. Yeah, obviously he made a mistake giving the ball away for the penalty, but getting forward in the last minute of the game, he could just be chilling on the edge of the box there, thinking, I don't want to get involved here, just let someone else do it. But no, he gets himself into the box. Doku, he previously tried 2 dribbles on Disasi, he got tackled both times. third time,
Yeah.
93rd minute of the game. Could he just pass the ball inside? Oh, I don't want to do it. I'll pass the ball inside. Gundogan can have it. He's a good player. I'll give it him. No, he's getting head up and he goes forward. He takes the player, and that's what you need. And I think it's so funny because when we was going through this horrific run, I kept on saying that, like, this is a confidence issue, partly. Obviously, the players obviously not the best players in the world, and that's why we signed 5 players, if you include Jima in January. But it's a confidence issue. And as quickly as we got into the mess that we got into, we can get out of. But you need to put some results on the board. And now we've won a couple of football matches. We're unbeaten in 7. You can see the confidence return to the team. If you look back to the United game away, right, look at Núñez's average position in that game. He was scared to go forward. He didn't want to go forward, probably because he had PTSD from the home game where he single-handedly cost us the match.
He would have, yeah.
Yeah. But that's then a detriment to the side, because part of that system needs Núñez to go forward, to give an outlet. And against Everton and against Villa, Núñez was constantly pushed up on that side, and he constantly was getting the ball. Against United, he didn't do that because he was nervous. He didn't want to go forward. So yeah, you got to give credit to Núñez. I like Núñez. I've always said I think Núñez is a good football player. Yeah. But he's never going to play in midfield, so forget that, because Pep don't trust him in there, and he doesn't trust him in there, which is fair because he always gives the ball away. He loses the ball far too much. But as a squad rotation player, you know, he's not on my immediate list to sell. He's on my sell list. But my sell list is a 2-summer sell list. Like, I've got 9 players on my sell list, but that's spread over the next 2 windows. He's on that list, but he's not on the priority list. For me, the priority list. You got to get rid of players like Grealish, who never plays, who's on 300 grand a week. And Bernardo Silva, who did have a good game, but you got to get rid of him. He's on £300,000 a week. So for me, you've got to get rid of the players that are on mad money that you can replace with better players and lower wages.
Yeah. And do you know what? I would agree with you. And by the way, obviously, I am a Grealish stan, right? I loved Grealish, but even I'm at the point now where it's like there's no point in, like, who would I rather see in an 8 role, Grealish or Núñez? Grealish. Who would I rather see in a 10 role, Grealish or Núñez? Grealish, right? Who would I rather see on the wing? Probably Grealish over Núñez. But the fact of the matter is, if we are not using him, he has to go. It's as simple as that.
He has to go.
Quite clearly, Pep now has trust in Núñez. So, do you know what? Substantially more trust in Núñez than he does Grealish. So he has to go. So I agree with you. Even the likes of Stones, cult hero, love him to bits. But we can't have another season of that few games being played, right? So if we can sell him, don't know if we will be able to. We must.
And Grealish has started 1 Premier League game in the last 17, and he was only injured for 2 of them. So you can't even use you can't even use injury as an excuse. 15 games, he started 1.
And that takes me back to the point where I've been very consistent with we need to sell Kevin De Bruyne, right? Sad, but we need to sell him because he wants to go. It's not sell him, sorry, let him go, because we can't be giving him 400 grand a week. But I'll be honest, if we are actually looking at the wage that Grealish is on, I would rather keep Kevin De Bruyne because we're getting more out of him than we are Grealish at the moment.
Of course.
Pep, you know what? When we talk on Núñez, we have to also give credit to Pep on it because Pep is finding a way to get the job done this season. We can't just keep moaning about Pep and when it actually is getting the job done. Right, I want to move on. People, 300 of you in here, 172 likes. Let's keep pushing them up. I want to talk Morgan Gibbs-White with you, bro, because it's a big topic of conversation. I put something out on Instagram this morning just saying, do we want him, right? Because I wanted people's take on it. And straight away, people say, no, we want Wirtz. And it's kind of like, I hate Ornstein because Ornstein has created this, Ornstein has created this Wirtz or Morgan Gibbs-White thing, right? Whereas I don't believe, this is me having some faith in Pep and the board, I don't believe we're buying him as a 10, right? But where are you with Morgan Gibbs-White?
I think he's all right. I think he's okay. I think he'd do a job. Obviously,
a job in what role?
The 8.
In the 8, yeah.
If we buy him as a 10, it's not looking good, bruv. I'll just say it. It's not looking good if we buy him as a 10, But as an 8, all right. Is he Man City standard? I'm not so sure.
Yeah.
Am I a bit gutted? Yeah. I'll tell you why I'm gutted, because like we could have had Bruno Guimaraes in the summer for 100 million and we decided not to. And then we're going to probably sign this guy for 75. And that for me is just where I'm a little bit like if we was never like interested in Bruno G and we just went for this guy, I'd probably be like, oh yeah, not too bad. I've explained this to my chat as well. I'm like, but the fact that we could have had Bruno Guimaraes, who is a legitimate world-class player. Like, you can't tell me Bruno Guimaraes is not a world-class player. The guy's a fucking animal, right? And you're going to go spend 75 on Gibbs-White. It just seems like a little bit like, and I feel bad saying that because I don't think he's a bad player. I really don't. I think he's okay. I think he's all right player. And I think put him in the City team. And I'm not like everybody else who thinks he's going to be another Grealish or another Phillips. Yeah, I actually think that he's going to be.
Wow, you're putting Grealish in the That's mad. You're putting
well, you know what I
Grealish
mean. You know what I mean.
Phillips
You know what I mean. He's had one good year. No. He's had one good year in 4 years.
But Phillips hasn't.
No. I know. But ultimately, Grealish cost 100 million. He's had one good year.
I do.
But you know what I mean. Yeah, obviously they're not the same. I get that. But now I don't think Morgan Gibbs-White's going to be in that category. I think Morgan Gibbs-White will be a good player for us. It's just that I think we could have done better. And I look at Tijani Reinders. I watched him the other day for AC Milan in the Coppa Italia semi-final against Inter Milan, and he was just fucking mega.
That's all I hear is his name, bro.
Bro, he's such a good player, man. I was like watching him, bro. The way he carries the ball, he glides with the ball, the way he passes the ball. He got the third goal, brilliant finish. He's got the tech, he's got the footwork. I look at him and I look at Morgan Gibbs-White, and the only thing I think Morgan Gibbs-White's got over him is a bit of a better engine and is more powerful. I think every aspect of technical ability, Gibbs-White is Tijani Reinders is a better player. And I don't think he'd cost much more money. I think he'd probably be a similar price. Now, he has just signed a new contract, but if Pep Guardiola rings you up, then I think that, you can convince Reinders to come. So, yeah, it's one of them, man. It's a weird one because, to sum it up, I think he's okay. I think he'll do a job, but I think we could have done better.
Yeah, do you know what I already worry about with Morgan Gibbs-White, right? Is that he's going to come if we do buy him, and my worry as well, by the way, let me be clear, because I think because I talk on it and I defend the signing, I'm not necessarily saying he's a player I want. I'm saying there's moving parts in everything at the moment at Manchester City, and the homegrown thing must be a thing, right? It must be a thing.
But hang on a minute, Daps, yeah. You can't spend 75 million quid on Gibbs-White just because he's English.
I agree fully, right? I'm not saying he's not a player that I particularly want, yeah? He's not, right? He hasn't. Is he good? Yeah, he's all right. Do you know what, bro? I've bantered Tottenham fans saying they wanted Morgan Gibbs-White, not Brennan Johnson, right? He's better as a footballer than Brennan Johnson, but I still don't think he's of a level. Like, bro, if we're talking about R8s, we're talking fucking Gundogan, Bernardo Silva, Yaya Toure. Bro, that's City levels. Morgan Gibbs-White does not make me go, yeah, fucking hell, let's go and get Morgan Gibbs-White, right? But I sense that it's got so much, like, it's being spoke about so much, it must be a thing, yeah? Now, my worry is that now, if we're buying him, but like, I put a poll out. Bro, most people don't want him. Yeah, there's some people that want him, some people that don't. If he comes in and takes any sort of time to land or doesn't land, he's getting absolute pelters, right? And that worries me, because he's doomed again. Like, it's going to be a first season like fucking Nunes all over again, right? I don't want that. I don't want that. And look, I'm here to hear other options. The Reinders one. Have there been any solid links to him? Have you seen any solid links, or is it just?
No, I've not seen any solid. Maybe the chat has seen some. I've seen probably dead rumors, but he's just signed a new contract, so it'd be difficult to get him out of there. But I think if he went in with 75, 80 million, I think you could probably get the deal done. He's 26, so he's a brilliant age just for City to sign. Obviously Bruno Guimaraes, I don't think you're going to be able to get him now. He just looks like he loves fucking Newcastle way too much, unfortunately. You've got Tonali up at Newcastle, who's a different type of player.
I like Tonali.
But I think City are looking clearly for an engine in that midfield.
Yeah.
They're looking for someone that can, for 90 minutes, just go up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. So Gibbs-White can do that. 100% he can do that.
Yeah.
It's whether he has the technical ability. It's not, otherwise just buy fucking Mo Farah, innit? You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Like, just go get Mo Farah on a free. You know what I mean? Like, yes, Gibbs-White can go up and down the pitch 90 minutes. Does he have the technical ability to break down low blocks?
Yeah.
Does he have the technical ability to score, so chip in with some goals, assists?
Do you know what? Another thing, I'll be honest with you.
I think in terms of the power and the up and down the pitch, I think he's brilliant. I think that side of the game, no issues there. I think he'd be amazing for us doing that. You got Rodri and Gibbs-White. Gibbs-White's the one that just goes up and down. Yeah, I think he'd be great. But we play against so many low blocks.
Yeah.
That player has to be able to break that. This is why Gundogan was just incredible in his prime. Because when he sat next to Rodri, he could break up play, he could intercept, he could make a challenge, he was great on the ball, but crucially, he could chip in with goals and he could chip in with assists. 100%. This is why he's one of the most underrated footballers of all time, Ilkay Gundogan.
He was our top goal scorer one season. Now, I dread to think that we might be in a situation where Morgan Gibbs-White we're hopeful Morgan Gibbs-White is going to be our top goal scorer one season, right? That can't be it. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Where are you on? Because I saw someone just mention this. Where are you on playing Nico O'Reilly in midfield?
Not this season.
Right. What about next season?
I'd give it a go.
I'm not on it yet. I think.
No. I just think let's just. We've this season ain't finished. Let's get this season finished. I'd play him now at left back in every game for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Why you'd start moving Guardiola back to left back when you finally got a back four that looks semi decent? It's the same with the Diaz debate at the moment. It's like I would try Huzanov and Guardiola as a centre back partnership just to try it, because I think the pace that Huzanov could bring
in the next 2 games.
No. I'm talking about in the summer, and maybe at the start of next season. But for right now, no, you don't change the back four. We've not had a steady back four all season. Yeah, we finally got a back four which is doing an okay job. Why you then start messing around with it? It's the same at the weekend. Previously, I'd said for the Forest game, I'd put Akanji back in at right back, but I wouldn't now. I'd stick with Nunes. Because for me, I'm just like, why would I change? I've been waiting for a solid back four all year. I finally got one. I'm not changing it. So keep O'Reilly as a left back for the rest of the season. I'd start him in every game. There's 6 games left if you get to the final. Start him in every game. He's got a couple of big games in there. You know what I mean? We've got to go Wembley twice if we get to the final. Obviously, if we get knocked out on Sunday, he's still got a big game there in the semi-final. See how he gets on. And then next year, if there's opportunities to get him in the middle, fine. But at the moment, let's just go with the flow, man. I feel like we shouldn't be like.
I agree with you, and that's the way Pep goes. Did you see? Just quickly, did you see the well, you might be able to tell me a bit more about it. You probably know more. City Extra put it out yesterday morning. I believe it was from Uzbeki journalist who maybe has Kuzanov's ear.
Yeah. So obviously someone started that rumor. Now I don't know if they started it as a joke.
I thought it might have been an AI written thing, you know.
Well, I don't know because like the way it's written doesn't indicate that it's a joke, but the contents within the story indicates that it's a joke.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know what that account was doing there. To be honest with you, because it went viral. I think it had like 40,000 likes on it.
But Ryan, you're saying this shampoo thing is real, bro. The fact the story came out is real, yeah. Come on, people, please, yeah. Just think about it for a second. Read the whole story, right? Firstly, it says sources. It doesn't say what sources, yeah? It got dropped by anybody, right? Now,
is that Real Talk City account on it?
Right, Ryan, you're saying I'm joking, yeah. But it's the fact that, well, if anyone ever thinks that Pep Guardiola, firstly, yeah, like, would take it seriously, yeah? This guy's been being called bald forever, right? I don't think the ball jokes get to him. But then secondly, the fact that
he's confirmed, the accounts confirmed it was a joke.
Right. And then even the fact that Ruben Diaz has explained No. And Pep apparently still has gone, nope, I'm not hearing it. And then, furthermore, the fact that apparently the club have accepted Pep coming and saying, listen, I know we've just bought this player. I know that globally, he's bringing in a mad fan base. I know that he's a mint player and he's impressed, but he called me bald and I'm not having it. And even when someone's explained to the club it was banter, the club have gone, now he's siding with Pep. Anyone that believes that, bro, give your head.
It's confirmed it's a joke. It had 60,000 likes on it on Twitter and it had 10 million views.
Bro, and it's
but the guys confirmed it was a joke. But obviously, the way it's written, like, is pretty well written in the sense that, like,
So my brother was showing me chat GBT on holiday, and he was like writing in a couple of lines, and then it was turning it into a mad long story, right? It's exactly that someone has come up with the mint shampoo champ 2, put that in AI, and AI's just gone, I'm going to give you a mint report on this. And my mate did it downstairs. He came up with, he typed in on AI something about long-term City fan, Jordan, my name's Jordan, by the way, scores goal in the Manchester derby. Bro, it made literally a whole report on me scoring a goal in the derby that would be good enough for me to put out as if I'm an ITK. Yeah, AI is doing mad shit. But, bro, what's mad is the fact that they felt Kuznov has felt that he needs to put out a fucking response to it.
It's because it went viral. It went viral, man. That's why.
That's
wild, isn't it?
The fact, but in it, there is some relevance to it that it actually does talk about the reason. Shampoo FC in it. Yeah, that's bro, why not?
It's a pretty good story, to be fair. The account's done pretty good job. It's just that, like, I don't know, man. It's written in a way that, like, is it plausible that this actually happened? And that's why it's gone so viral, isn't it?
But in it, it does actually talk about Kuznov saying, or, the reason why Pep is not starting Kuznov at the moment. It's like, at this point of the season, when you get a solid back four, you just run with it. Until a player has a bad game, you don't drop no one, do you? Not when you're trying to achieve something. Especially, we know that's how Pep works.
Yeah. No, I'm with you, man. I'm with you. I don't know if this is last night. David Ornstein confirming that Trent's going to Real Madrid.
What, confirmed?
Yeah, David Ornstein last night.
Well, do you know what? I love the fact that he's going there, I love the fact that everything to do with Liverpool, that Liverpool's fan base gas up so much, right? Just comes back and bites him in the arse all the time, bro. Like, I've never known a fan base, have so many things come back and bite him in the arse. Whether it be Bellingham, whether it be Caicedo, whether it be, who was it before? There's been, but now Trent.
Lavia rejected him, isn't it?
Yeah, Lavia. No, but bro, the ones that they really gas up, like Alonso, he only wants us, and Trent, it means more. That's gonna, and bro, the biggest one that is going to happen, and well, it's already started happening is, Klopp's leaving us because he needs a break. No, bro, Klopp left you because he wanted to. Klopp is a power freak, and he wanted to be a director of football and manager. That's why he left, and within months, become a director of football. And I'm telling you now, bro, he's putting himself forward for that Real Madrid role. 100%.
100%. Yeah, he will. I think it's between him and Alonso, man. Him and Alonso.
Yeah. Do you think there's in any world we can end up getting Alonso? Actually, no. Stop.
No.
Pause. The Pep news. Pep and his missus.
Oh yeah, I did see that. Yeah.
Oh, could that be someone messaged me this morning saying, "Do you reckon his missus said, all right, sound, I'll give it one last chance, but you need to move back to Spain"?
I don't know what's happened there. I have no idea, innit? Who knows? Let's see, innit? But if he goes at the end of the season, then he goes at the end of the season. Like, who knows what's going to happen, man? But no, it's good for him, innit? You know what I mean? Like, 30 years they were together, so it's pretty sad, I think. You know what I mean? Like,
100%.
So yeah, hopefully they give it another go, and that works out, man. You know what I mean? You got family first, innit?
Yeah, 100%, bro. 100%, bro. And maybe that is why the form's picked up. Who knows? But last one. Who are you saying we end up getting in goal?
I think we're getting this Costa guy.
Yeah, I think so.
It worries me. based off of the little I've seen of him, based off of what people are saying about him, based off of the stats. We'll just have to trust that he's not shit. By all accounts, he did have a fantastic Euros, so that's some positive.
Yeah,
apparently he was very good there, but he definitely has a bozo mistake.
It didn't blow me away in the Euros. I watched every Portuguese game, every Portugal game, because we were doing watch longs for everything.
I don't know. All I'd say is like he clearly has the bozo gene. Hopefully he's not shit, and I just think that there is people in this fan base that have massively disrespected Ederson as a goalkeeper. I think he's our greatest ever goalkeeper. I think he's the best goalkeeper ever to have lived with the ball at his feet.
Yeah.
And I think that when we get a new goalkeeper, no matter how good they are, I think people are going to realise, hang on a minute, yes, Ederson did make a mistake now and again. And this year, I think he's had his worst year in the Manchester City kit. But he is a top-class goalkeeper, and I think a lot of people are going to realise that when we get a new one next year.
Yeah. Well, I always said, that I honestly felt that someone's put Bert is our best ever. Listen, Bert Troutman was a legend. I can't even come. Well,
I remember him. I remember him when I was there. You know, in the fucking kit packs, mate. Yeah, cheering him on, fucking after the war.
The mad thing is, I've actually one of the first when I was a kid. My dad made me watch that FA Cup final where he did his neck in. Right. But one of the first City games, I remember being about 4 or 5 years old and being having this VHS put on, being black and white to watch it. It was, but I agree with you on Ederson, bro, and that like he's the one out of all the players that look likely to leave, right? That's the one that worries me, because I always said in a Pep Guardiola system, Ederson won't leave until Pep leaves. I've always said it because I thought it's so important. But then when you do look at it, Costa is probably, from what we're being told, and I'm like you, I haven't watched him loads, but from what I'm being told, he is the closest to Ederson when it comes to with his feet, right? And people going, but he's got bozo moments. But I bet you people said Ederson had bozo moments when we first.
Yeah, and he did. And he did. And Ederson has made his fair mistakes. But I definitely think that what he's done for the football club is. I definitely think that he outweighs the mistakes, and that's what you're counting on. If we get Costa, we all know he's probably going to make bozo errors from what people are saying and the video evidence that we've seen. Does his on the ball abilities, does his saves, does that outweigh the bozo? That's what it is, isn't it? It's the pros and cons. Every player has a pros and cons. Even Haaland's got pros and cons. He's not the best. He's not the best at dropping deep. He's not the best on the ball, linking up the play. But his goals clearly outweigh those cons. Yeah, I mean, so you're looking for a goalkeeper where the pros outweigh the cons.
Yeah, and this is the thing. You know what? We had Joe Hart. Joe Hart was a mint shot stopper, and we all didn't want Joe Hart to leave. But when Ederson came in, so it does worry me though. I'm not gonna lie, bro. It does worry me. But I think with keepers, I don't watch enough keepers from other teams that are available to comment on them. So it's just a bit of false hope. But anyway, listen, we're gonna wrap it up there. There's 364 in here, 217 likes. So people, please keep hitting that like button. LB, you're going live straight after this, yeah? So people,
man.
I know you'll love LB. Just stay where you are because it's going straight over there.
Gonna go live and hype up the summer transfer window, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looking forward to the summer.
Fucking buzzing. I can't wait for this season to end, man. To be honest.
Yeah. And club, well, for us as City fans, we've got a mint summer to be fair because we're going to be spending money and we've got the Club World Cup. Which means we're going to get to see the youngers as well. So for us, it's mint.
Nah, facts. Hopefully, Echeverry gets some game time in it. The journalist Condors the other day said he was in the squad, and then it turned out he wasn't. He was just on the bus.
I saw your tweet straight away.
Little fuckers, man. But at least he's made the bus, eh?
Yeah.
We're taking a step in the right direction, chat. One step forward, man. You know what I mean? He's on the bus. He's now allowed on the bus. Shout out Eche Messi, man.
Well, he was sat next to Rodri on the bench, innit? I'm redirecting to the rebuild, 300 mil transfer budget needed, yeah?
Yeah, let's go, man.
Yeah, perfect. People, stay where you are. This is going to go straight over to LB's channel. So as soon as you get over there, smash the like button, drop a comment, and we will be back 7 p.m. this evening with some of my lot, which is going to be an absolute fucking shambles, to be honest with you. I don't think some of them are built built for YouTube, so it could go left, but let's see. Anyway, we're out.